Did the Academy actually get it right? Film girlies, at the time of this recording, the 98th Oscar nominations just dropped. And not gonna lie, it kind of restores my faith of award season. You had us in the first half award season. You really did. I'm still giving you the side eye though. They better not mess this up. By the way, welcome to Tea and Popcorn, where we spill the tea on all things movies. I'm your host Megan, and welcome to this cozy virtual tea party and movie club for the film girlies. I have my jasmine tea ready, and we are breaking down the main categories for this year's Oscars. Even though I love all aspects of film, I'm not trying to be here all day, and I will leave timestamps for you to skip around to your favorite categories. Let's start with Best Actress in a Supporting Role. We have Elle Fanning, Inga Ipstada-Lenos, Amy Madigan, Wami Masaku, and Tiana Taylor. My goodness, when I tell you that I screamed with excitement when I saw Amy Madigan and Wami Masaku, the queens of horror, are nominated! Oh my gosh. This is beyond exciting. Tiana Taylor was definitely a lock. She had just come off of a win for the Golden Globes, which I did talk about in my last video. In my awards season series, I have been talking a lot about Wami Masaku. She has one of my favorite performances, and I loved her character in Sinners. So I'm just very hyped to see her nominated. As for picks and predictions, my pick will probably go to Wami Masaku, but my prediction is either going to go to Tiana Taylor or Amy Madigan, just by track record alone, because Amy Madigan did win the Critics' Choice Award. As for hair and makeup, we have Frankenstein, Kokoho, Sinners, The Smashing Machine, and The Ugly Stepsister. As a horror girly, I really love how The Stepsister is nominated, but I also have to give credit to The Smashing Machine because that was fantastic hair and makeup work, especially transforming The Rock to Mark Kerr. Yet Frankenstein's special effects makeup was just out of this world. It was solid work, and it just blew me away, honestly. I haven't seen Kokoho. I'm going to look up what the hair and makeup kind of was giving. Ooh, this is a very beautiful makeup work too. I would also say Sinners had really good special effects makeup too. When it comes to some of the vampire makeup, especially towards the end of the movie, yeah, I can see how it got nominated. A lot of people forget about that, but that's fantastic makeup work. My personal pick will go to The Ugly Stepsister, but I think Frankenstein is going to win. Best Music Original Score: Begonia, Frankenstein, Hamnet, One Battle After Another, and Sinners. After seeing all of these films, Sinners hands down has my favorite score. My pick is going to Sinners, considering Ludwig Göransson's track record. He already won Oscars for Black Panther and Oppenheimer. I think this is going to be another win for him. It's a lock for sure. Best Writing Adapted Screenplay. Nominations are Begonia, Frankenstein, Hamnet, One Battle After Another, and Train Dreams. Oh, this is tough. I have seen all of these films as well. Oh man, that's really tough because honestly, I think they're just so different. And that's what makes it hard to get. I actually like all of these screenplays for a different reason. So it's like a 5-way tie as far as my picks. But as my prediction, I'm gonna go with One Battle After Another. Best Writing Original Screenplay, we have Blue Moon, It Was Just an Accident, Marty Supreme, Sentimental Value, and Sinners. Y'all already know my pick goes to Sinners, and I think Sinners is going to win original screenplay. But I also think that Marty Supreme and Sentimental Value have a high chance of winning. Marty Supreme for its campaigning, and Sentimental Value because it just feels like an Oscar-winning screenplay. Best Actor in a Supporting Role, Benicio del Toro for One Battle After Another, Jacob Elordi for Frankenstein, Delroy Lindo for Sinners, Sean Penn for One Battle After Another, and Stellan Skarsgård for Sentimental Value. This is a stacked category. Very stacked. And I am so hyped. I also literally screamed when Delroy Lindo got nominated. This is actually his first Oscar nomination as well. And mind you, he is such an underrated actor. Highly recommend watching any film he's in. I'm very surprised that he got snubbed for Da 5 Bloods because I think that was his best role so far, but he kicks butt in Sinners. So obviously, my pick goes to Delroy Lindo, and my prediction goes to Stellan Skarsgård. Great performance and sentimental value, and I believe this is also his first Oscar nomination too. Yeah, that is crazy. This is his first nomination. The more you know, film girlies, the more you know. We have a new category, which is Best Casting, which is something that I have been wanting for a very long time. The closest thing we got is the Best Ensemble Cast at the SAGs, or now I guess it's the Actor Awards. So I'm very happy that they have a Best Casting category, especially in a year where there's films with a lot of stacked casts. The nominees are Hamnet, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, The Secret Agent, and Sinners. I haven't seen The Secret Agent yet, but completely stacked cast for Marty Supreme. The cast for One Battle After Another really did carry the story for me. In Sinners, it's just talent all around. Like, whoo. This is very tough. My picks for casting are a tie between One Battle After Another and Sinners. And those are also going to be my predictions. If I was to choose one film that'll probably win, I would say One Battle After Another. Only because they're getting a lot of nominations in the acting categories, but also the same thing goes for Sinners, so I can't even use that logic. We're just going to have to see how the Actors Awards go, and then that'll probably be the deciding factor as far as my predictions. So it's up in the air. It's between those two. So let me know what you think in the comments. Best Costume Design: Avatar, Fire and Ash, Frankenstein, Hamnet, Marty Supreme, and Sinners. As my personal pick, I'm gonna have to go with Hamnet. I really do like the costume design for that, and it is an older period piece, and the Academy tends to really like that. Same thing with Frankenstein. However, I think the winner is going to be Sinners with Ruth E. Carter. She has won costume design for both Black Panther movies, and I think this is going to be her third Oscar. So my lock is going for Ruth E. Carter. And actually, Ruth E. Carter is the most nominated Black woman in Oscars history. I know I said that I was only going to do the main categories, but I lied to you. Speaking of I lied to you, let's go with Best Original Song. Dear Me, Diane Warren, Relentless. Golden, K-Pop Demon Hunters. I Lied to You from Sinners. Sweet Dreams of Joy from Viva Verdi. And Train Dreams, Train Dreams. My personal pick for enjoyment is I Lied to You, but my prediction, and I think it's a lock, is Golden from K-Pop Demon Hunters. Best Animated Feature Film. Arco, Elio, K-Pop Demon Hunters, Little Emily, or The Character of Rain, and Zootopia 2. My pick and lock is K-Pop Demon Hunters. Film editing: F1, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, Sentimental Value, and Sinners. I think F1 is going to win, and that would be my pick too. The editing was very solid in that. Oh, if we're going into snubs, I actually really like the editing work in Song Sung Blue. I'm telling you, the editing was fantastic in that, as far as a storytelling standpoint, not really like a spectacle standpoint like F1, but it is very impressive how F1 was edited. Best Cinematography: we have Frankenstein, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, Sinners, and Train Dreams. My pick and my lock is going to Train Dreams. That movie is absolutely stunning. My favorite cinematography of the year. However, it would be very awesome for Sinners to win. Autumn Durald Arkapaw. Like, oh my gosh. Her work in Sinners was amazing! And she is the first woman of color to be nominated for Best Cinematography for an Oscar. That would be history made if she won. Nominated for the first time, won the first time. Love to see it. Love to see that, film girlies. Film girlies gotta support film girlies. We gotta represent for our women cinematographers. So that is my pick, and Yeah, let's put it down for a prediction too. Best actor in a leading role. This is a stacked category, y'all. Timothy Chalamet, Marty Supreme. Leonardo DiCaprio, One Battle After Another. Ethan Hawke, Blue Moon. Michael B. Jordan, Sinners. And Wagner Moura, The Secret Agent. Very tough category. Especially as far as predictions goes. My personal pick will go to Michael B. Jordan for Sinners. Best actor is kind of tough because sometimes it's very predictable and sometimes it isn't. So we'll probably get a clearer understanding about wins and good predictions after the Actors Awards. But it could be a shocker too. So who knows? Film girlies, I want to know who you think, because right now I'm kind of like it's a three-way tie between Michael B. Jordan, Wagner Moura, and Timothy Chalamet. So put your picks and your predictions in the comments. Let's talk about Best International Feature Film. The Secret Agent, Brazil. Again, shout out to Brazil. Shout out to my Brazilian subscribers. I'm only giving a shout out to Brazil because according to my analytics, that's like my third biggest country that views my content outside of the US and the UK. So yeah, shout out to Brazil. It was Just an Accident from France. Sentimental Value from Norway, Surat, Spain, and The Voice of Hedwajah, Tunisia. I've only seen Sentimental Value. I've heard a lot of great things in the comments and a lot of recommendations to check out the other films, so I will definitely do that. I'm actually going to start a 2025 catch-up series on my Instagram, TikTok, and Letterboxd, as well as my community tab on YouTube. And stay tuned for those mini reviews. Even though I haven't seen this film, I do predict that The Secret Agent is going to win. Best Actress in a Leading Role. Jessie Buckley, Hamnet. Rose Byrne, If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You. Kate Hudson, Song Sung Blue. Renata Reinsneff for Sentimental Value. And Emma Stone for Begonia. My pick is going to be Jessie Buckley. My prediction / lock is going to be Jessie Buckley. She absolutely ate in Hamnet. Her performance, out of this world. If you haven't seen it, highly recommend watching it. I'm actually going to rewatch it myself. I gotta give credit to Renata Reinsneff and also Kate Hudson. They were fantastic in their respective roles. Emma Stone did a great job too. I mentioned in my best movies of 2025 list that she really committed to that role. I haven't seen If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You just yet, but that is on my watch list. But again, Jessie Buckley, girl, I think she's gonna win. Best Director, Best Directing. This category scares the heck out of me. Chloe Zhao, Hamnet. Josh Safdie, Marty Supreme. Paul Thomas Anderson, One Battle After Another. Joachim Trier for Sentimental Value. And Ryan Coogler for Sinners. I just want everyone to just split the award 5 ways. All of them did so fantastic on their films. The directing was so top-notch. We truly got fantastic films and very well-directed films. These nominations are definitely proof of that. But if I was to pick one director, I would say Ryan Coogler, and I think the Academy is going to give Paul Thomas Anderson the Best Director award. Very heavy hitters in that category. Even though the Academy is kind of eating with these nominations, there were some snubs. Wicked for Good, 0 nominations. Theater kids everywhere are mourning right now. But this was such a competitive year in film. I'm very surprised that Ariana Grande wasn't nominated for supporting actress again, as well as Cynthia Erivo for leading actress. Acting categories aside, I am very shocked that it wasn't nominated for costume design or hair and makeup. Even though some people were clowning on some of the hair and makeup because they said one of the characters looked like Ryan Reynolds. If you know, you know. I would have to go to Wicked for Good spoilers, so I don't want to get into that. But yeah, 0 nominations for that film. I know a lot of people were holding their breaths for more Wicked wins this year, but I'm telling you, this year was such a tough film category, and my personal opinion, Wicked for Good was weaker than its predecessor, but it makes an excellent double feature. Ultimately, it is going to have a stamp in culture. So in the long run, even though it doesn't get any awards this year, it gets awards in the heart of the world. Man, that sounded so corny, but you know what I mean. I'm personally very surprised that Sorry Baby got snubbed. When I saw this film, I was just like, okay, for sure, it's getting some Oscars. But nope, 0 nominations, which is very unfortunate. Like, not even screenplay. I'm just shocked. Paul Mescal got snubbed for supporting actor. After seeing Hamnet, I'm like, yeah, he should have got nominated. What the heck, Academy? Going back to Best Actress, Chase Infinity for One Battle After Another. Again, very surprising because she absolutely killed it in that role. I'm also surprised to see Tessa Thompson not nominated either. Hedda was in my honorable mentions for my favorite movies of 2025. I said that this is the best performance that I have seen of hers. And she needs to take on more roles like this, because if she does, I think she is going to get nominated more often. And if the Academy stops tripping, she actually might get nominated for Best Actress. And I hope she wins. So just throwing that out there. But a big shocker is Jesse Plemons got snubbed for Begonia for Best Leading Actor. Honestly, I'm gooped and gagged. They have really been sleeping on Jesse Plemons this award season. It is unacceptable. I'm still glad that Jesse Plemons is getting his flowers, considering his long career. He is such a talented actor, but my goodness, they're really sleeping on his performance in Begonia. Joel Edgerton for Train Dreams. Yeah. Why didn't he get nominated for Best Actor? I think he gave a fantastic performance, and honestly one of the better performances of the year. So that is super shocking as far as snub. As far as the internet discourse, a lot of people are shocked that No Other Choice didn't get any nominations, especially for international. Now, I'm excited to see No Other Choice because I've heard nothing but great things about that film. So if you tune into my catch-up series on my short form platforms, my Instagram, Letterboxd, TikTok, and my community tab, you're gonna know my opinions. But yeah, that is shocking. I'm surprised it didn't get nominated. The moment that y'all have been waiting for, Best Picture. Begonia, F1. Frankenstein, Hamnet, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, The Secret Agent, Sentimental Value, Sinners, and Train Dream. Now, what is F1 doing there? I was telling my dad this morning, I was just like, you wouldn't believe what got nominated for Best Picture. And then he couldn't guess. And I said, F1. He's just like, oh, F1, that was a good movie. But Best Picture? I'm just like, what boomer dad put that on there? And my dad's a boomer too, technically, I guess. I don't know. He's like in the cusp of boomer and Gen X. But not saying that that was a bad movie per se. But Best Picture... I do want to mention one comment, though, that I got, because I talked about this on my Instagram and my TikTok, because I was confused, y'all. I was very confused. Tyrone from the Circle Club, a friend of the show, said, I love F1 and Lewis Hamilton. And I was like, what? I think the fact that they were really on set, costumes, they shot it during actual races, and it feels like a technical advance, especially with IMAX involved. Sometimes we forget the Academy is also about scientific achievements. That is such a great take. And I forget about that too, because there usually is like a scientific achievement or like box office achievement film that is thrown in for the Oscars. Usually that is an Avatar movie, so that is really shocking that they decide to switch it up and go with F1. But yeah, I think that was a fantastic comment. My pick for Best Picture, y'all know that my pick is Sinners, my favorite movie of 2025. My predictions, it might go to One Battle After Another or Hamnet. But if the Academy is like super cool, all depends on the Academy itself. And it also depends on how much they are listening to Christopher Nolan, because Christopher Nolan has been writing hard for Sinners to get nominated. So I hope this momentum keeps going. I hope he keeps supporting and endorsing Sinners, as well as other people in the industry. If that happens, then I predict that Sinners is going to win. Overall, I am very happy and very optimistic, especially as far as these nominations, because not gonna lie, why I was feeling pretty pessimistic about awards season, especially if you watched my last video. So these nominations definitely made my day. And Sinners actually makes history for being the most nominated Oscar film of all time with 16 nominations, which is so insane on so many levels. And I'm just so here for it. Because not only is it a horror film, but it's also a Black-centered film and a Black-directed film. And notoriously, the Oscars really do ignore films like that. And it was such a culturally significant film. But with that aside, I'm just really happy that a horror film is getting nominated that many times, as well as other horror films that are being nominated for more than just special effects. I'm glad the Academy is actually paying attention to horror, as well as foreign language films. That is a huge win, and it's so great to see. This is really night and day compared to the Golden Globes, which I did a majority of my last video on. So if you want to see that comparison, definitely check that out. But regardless, I will be covering film award season. So give this video a like if you like the vibes, subscribe and hit the bell icon so you don't miss out on the latest video, and I will see you in the next party. Bye bye!